When I was in my mother's basement, dead broke, I had to truly ask myself a simple question. Is this the life that I want for myself? I was making $12 an hour, living in my mother's basement. I was watching my mother work 2 different jobs. My standard was, I am going to retire my mother or die trying. It is that simple. What is your standard? Because whatever that is what you will settle for. Happy New Year. 2024 is upon us. It is January 1st. But I have a very important message to give all of you guys. That if you truly want to have an impactful 2024, if you want to radically change your life in 2024, it starts with this one thing. Raising your standards. You must raise your standards in every aspect of your life. If you keep your standards at the exact same place that you were in 2023, I can guarantee you that you will have the exact same year with the exact same results. You must raise your standard in the type of woman that you want to attract. You must raise your standard in the type of money that you need to attract. You must raise your standard in the terms of your family life and how you want to retire your family. You must raise your standard in your type of living. Raise your standard in the type of car that you get driven in or you drive. Raise your standard in every single aspect of your life. That is the only way in which you will radically change and have a different 2024. You see, let me explain why this is so important, raising your standards. Because if you keep with the same mindset, this is what happens. Your standards are set at Z, and you are making $100,000 a year. That is your goal. Well, guess what? You will have $100,000 a year work ethic. But if you raise your standard to say, I will settle for nothing less than $1 million a year, or 10 million a year, or 100 million a year, your standard of work ethic will not stop until the job is done. Your standard of what you accept in your life will not allow you to accept certain things, environments, people, relationships, parties, things that you have been accepting and saying yes to, you will soon begin to say no to. You see, one thing I learned from my multi-billion-dollar mentor who owns the San Francisco 49ers is this. Your standard is your ability to say no. The more you are able to say no is the power in which you have for the universe to be able to tell you yes. When you master the art of saying no, I do not accept $100,000 a year salary. No, I do not accept my mother to be working a dead-end job and I must be able to retire her. No, I do not accept this life that I'm living in a 700 square foot apartment. No, I do not accept this relationship that does not support me in my goals, in my visions. No, I will not go and party. No, I will not accept degenerate behavior and all these friends that want to take me onto this dead-end path. No. When you master the art of saying no, that is how you raise your standard. That is how you raise your standard in 2024. Because then you will only say yes to the things that will make you great. And the most beautiful thing about becoming a millionaire, or the most beautiful thing about becoming great, is it's so simple. You see, Kobe Bryant, to become one of the greatest basketball players in the world, had to say yes to only one thing every day. Practice, 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 work, practice, practice, work, work, less sleep, more work, more discipline. It is simple. The most simplest things in the world will make you great, but only if you are able to say no to the distractions of the world. If you are able to master the art of saying no by raising your standards. When you raise your standards, you stop accepting mediocrity. And I want to prepare you for this journey, because one day you're going to tell your friends, no, I will not go and accept and go and party to your invitations of degeneracies and all these things. You're going to tell them no. And they're going to say, oh, you're going to work on that loser business again? You're going to go work on yourself? You're going to go to the gym again? What a loser. Look at him. He's not losing weight. He still doesn't have a six-pack. He still doesn't have the body that he desires. He still doesn't have even 100,000 in his name. What a loser. They're going to be laughing at you. But I guarantee you, you keep failing. You keep falling. You keep falling on your face and failing forward again and again and again. And you fail forward continuously. You will have the last laugh. That is a promise. That is a promise I will give you today. That you will have the last laugh. That once you raise your standard and you master the art of saying no, people will laugh at you. People will tell you you are crazy. People will tell you that it is not possible. But once you truly, truly accept this path of greatness, this path of incredible discipline, this path of incredible singular focus towards a singular goal with maximum results, of saying yes to the same foods that are going to create the body that you need to create. Yes to the same workouts that are going to create the body that you need to create. Yes to the same work of cold calling again and again and again, and the work that is needed to achieve and actually maximize your results. When you say yes to the same things over and over again, those wins will compound. And you will have the last laugh when all of your friends accepted the yeses of the world and you said no, and you raised your standards. You will win, and you will win greatly in 2024. But it begins with this one thing: raising your standards. It is that simple. It is truly that simple. When I was in my mother's basement, dead broke, I had to truly ask myself a simple question. Is this the life that I want for myself? I was making $12 an hour, living in my mother's basement, making $12 an hour. I was 21 years old, or 21. I was watching my mother work 2 different jobs. My standard was, I am going to retire my mother or die trying. It is that simple. And when that was my standard, it was so simple to achieve those goals that from 21 to 23, I became a millionaire. I made $640,000 in 2.5 months when I was 23. There was a compound effect, that I made a couple of deals, I closed a couple of real estate deals, and when I was 23, boom, I skyrocketed to a millionaire. I went from making $40,000 my first year to $100,000 my second year, to over $1.3 million my third year. This process will take time. This will not happen overnight, but you must compound every single day your singular efforts of your yeses that make you great. And I promise you, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, however long it fucking takes, when your standard is set, that means that you will get there or die trying. It is that simple. And we will not stop until we truly achieve it. Until my mother was retired, I did not stop. 23, I will never forget the day I took her in my Maserati, which I thought was an incredible car at that time, by the way. My Maserati GT. Put her in my car, and I'll never forget. I said, Mom, you are going to go into your job today. I was taking her to her job, and I said, you're going to tell them that you quit today. And she said, why? I showed her 2 checks. My own mother did not believe in the standard that I set for myself. My standard was, Mom, one day I'm going to retire you. I'm going to become a millionaire. She said, Raphael, you are a dishwasher. You will never become a millionaire. You have no college education. You got kicked out of high school. You're involved in gang activity and gangsters and all this crazy nonsense. You will never become a businessman. Go and be realistic. I said, no. Watch me. Year 2, 3. That day in the Maserati, she said, why, Raphael? And I showed her 2 checks. $390,000 $250,000. I said, this is why. She looked at me and she cried and she hugged me and she said, Raphael, I am so sorry I didn't believe in you. And I said, that's okay, Mom. God did. Set the standards in which God has for your life. Do you truly believe that God wants you in this ridiculously pathetic, minuscule, non-influential life that you are living right now? Do you believe that for yourself? Because if you do, you must not believe in the same God that I do. Because I know the God that I believe in wants greatness for me. Not for my own glory, but so that when people see me, they see him. And if they're going to see him when they see me, I better be on my absolute greatest accomplishments and greatest results and greatest work ethic, so that when they see a man living, that God is working through me to achieve greatness, that I will turn more men and women to believing in the same God that I do. Turning more men and women to, when they die, they live everlasting lives in heaven with me, leaving impacts of spiritual generational change. That is the standard of my life. What is your standard? Because whatever that is what you will settle for. But this year, 2024, I will not settle. I've been not settling. 2023, I made tens of millions. 2024, I will not settle. And you will not settle. We are going to raise our standards. We're going to raise our work ethic. And we're going to raise our living. We're going to raise our impact. We're going to raise our income. Everything will be raised once you raise your standard. So that is your simple 2024 message. And I hope that is simply impactful. And I know it is cliche and simple, but it will leave you, if you truly implement raising your standards, it will leave you with incredible, incredible results. Let's crush this 2024 together.